Welcome everyone to State of the Game for the 27th of April 2017. The PTS was updated this morning?
Yes, it was.
Yeah.
It was. We released what we call PTS 2, which is the second iteration with a few more changes that have been listed on the patch notes on the forums. And yeah, so some of the main changes that we did in there, there's a bunch of bug fixes. That's one bug fixes count. But yeah, on top of that, so some of the changes we did was based on the first PTS and also on things that people had been talking about for some time already and asking us to do. So for example, the hipfire, this has been a constant discussion for a very long time. People were recently especially complaining about hipfire, or the auto-aim with a controller, or the aim assist with a controller when hipfiring, which is absolutely kind of counterproductive because hipfire should not be accurate. And
That's kind of the whole point.
The aim assist makes it accurate, so yeah.
Exactly. I mean, well, that's kind of one of the things. I mean, I can't remember exactly what patch it was in. I think actually 1.6 changed the hipfire accuracy and the recoil and these sorts of things.
Yeah.
But then on consoles specifically, you had
Yeah.
it so it was doing all that sort of thing. So I'm happy to see that that change is in, particularly because a couple of days ago or yesterday on the stream, someone in chat was asking, because this PTS specifically is PC only, does that mean all of the changes cater to only the PC audience? And I get that. I understand why people would be concerned about that. But no, this one is very much a console.
Yeah, it's and yeah, you're right, because some people have been asking if this was a change just for PC. It's not. It's really also for console. That doesn't mean it's like we consider hipfire to be addressed. We'll definitely need to keep an eye on it and see how much of this actually changes.
Definitely.
And if that hopefully will make the situation better, but it's probably not going to be enough to really address the hipfire. So we'll keep looking at that and potentially have another pass at it in the next update.
Definitely. It's just one of those things that is, it's in like a really tricky part of the gameplay because it needs to be in there.
Yeah.
Hipfire is an integral part of the game, but it's been overutilized in certain types of gameplay, which is kind of led to the whole chicken dance PvP, which maybe some people like, but I know there are a bunch of people who don't, us included.
The aim assist on hipfire when using a controller is gone. There used to be an aim assist when you're using a controller on hipfire. This is gone. You won't get an aim assist anymore. The next thing we wanted to mention was Nimble. With the first PTS, we changed Nimble as we had announced by changing the heal you get from Nimble from a direct heal to a heal over time, and also making it that you actually have to stay in the destination cover in order to get your heal. And that was a bit like after, I mean, we've seen people playing and trying it on the PTS. We've tried it ourselves. And yeah, that was just a bit too much.
I think it slowed down gameplay a lot.
Yeah, definitely.
It kind of, you'd end up in a cover and you'd be like, oh, okay, now I can play again.
If you survive that.
Yeah, exactly. So this is kind of cool. It still means that, I don't know, Nimble's one of those funny ones because I find, and I know a lot of people have the same thing, that it's situationally great, but also sometimes in PvP it can be kind of horrendous because you commit to too long of a cover move and you get shot at on the way, you get stunned or you get grenaded. It's I kind of like it. It's I see Demonic in chat saying Nimble unnerf incoming. I think it's kind of in the middle. Like we have this happy medium now where it's changed so you can't just bounce around covers and get like infinitely healed. Yeah. But well, I mean you can, but you have to not take damage in that time.
So the change for those who haven't read the patch note is that now we stick to Nimble being a heal over time. That's something we don't want to change. You won't get the health directly. It's going to be an overtime on 4 seconds, but you don't have to stay in cover anymore. So you can use Nimble, go to another cover, and your heal over time begins, and then you can, live your life and be happy and do other things. You don't have to actually stay in the cover to get the heal effect. Yep. And the last thing, and that one is obviously going to be debated, is the airburst, airburst Seeker Mine. So we had announced for some time already, actually, I think it must have been like a few State of the Games, that we had said that we were going to do something about it. And the plan was to move some of the damage from burst damage into the fire effect. So yeah, this was what we announced we would do. We also said we would change the stagger or remove the stagger. The stagger is gone. But the damage wasn't moved. And we said in the first patch notes, in the patch notes for PTS 1, we announced that the damage was moved. This was a mistake. It wasn't moved actually on PTS 1. And it turns out that we're actually so far, we are quite happy that way. And that doesn't mean it's never going to change. And I know that a lot of people were hoping for this change to happen because they think that Seekerman and Airburst is still too strong. And it could be. But right now, we definitely want to take it very slowly and be very careful with nerfing it, because we don't want to nerf it to the ground and then regret it later and have to come back. So we'll take small incremental steps and just like do it little by little. So far, we're quite happy with where it's at now by not changing the damage, just removing the stagger. We also modified the fire effect that you get from Airburst. So now it's actually a real status effect fire, which means it can be cleansed by the player if you receive it, if you survive the burst, of course. So yeah.
We are ready to open the signups for ETF Charlie.
Yes. So what is the ETF? Let's assume, because some people might not know what the ETF is actually. So the ETF stands for Elite Task Force. And the concept is that we're going to select a bunch of you guys, invite you to the studio. This time it's going to be at Reflections, which is one of the sister studios working with Massive on The Division. It's going to be held at Reflections in Newcastle in the UK. And we're going to invite a bunch of you guys for 4 days. It used to be 3 days. This time it's going to be 4. We want to actually make it a bit longer to have more time for discussion. And yeah, for 4 days, we're basically going to sit down together. There's going to be devs from Reflections, from Red Storm, from Massive. We will be there as well, and we'll have a bunch of discussions and workshops and debates about the game, about what we want to do. We're going to tell you more about what we're doing for year 2. We're going to talk about update 1.7 and update 1.8. We're going to talk about all the balancing efforts, all the priorities that we have, and try to make sure that we're all in line on the next things that are going to come to the game.
So registrations are now open, and they are open until next Wednesday at 6 p.m. CEST.
It's very important, before you apply to the ETF, please make sure that first you are available at the dates. So we said May 23rd to May 26th. And probably the day before and after, especially if you're from the US, because flight time to the UK is quite long. So please make sure that you are available for this time, which is pretty much a week. So we know that's asking a lot. But make sure that you are available. And second, please make sure that you are ready to go to the UK. So that you have, if you don't live in the UK already, make sure that you have a passport, that it's valid, and that you're allowed to basically fly there.
Yes. All right. See you later, everyone.
See you guys.
Bye.